You all may be seated. Okay. Ms. Sanchez, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes. I'm here to get child support. We have an adopted son.
Okay. How old is your adopted son?
He's 16.
Okay.
And I've been taking care of him by myself for probably the last 6 years.
Okay.
And he's getting, it's where things are more expensive. And we adopted him at late in life, and because I couldn't have children, and so Mr. Sanchez thought that we should adopt. But several years ago, he also decided that he should have a secretarial person in his life, so to speak.
What do you mean by that?
He had an affair with his secretary.
Oh, okay.
And so I was left to raise our son by myself.
When you say that you're raising him by yourself, he's not giving you any type of support?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if he has any money?
I know he does. I know that his parents just recently passed away, and they had a big farm, and they had a lot of land, and they had a bunch of cows, and so I know they're worth something. And he's always had a steady job. He's worked for the government forever, and he doesn't think that he should have to pay me any child support because he said it's not his biological child. And
wait a minute, real quick. You understand that an adopted child is your legal responsibility, right?
Absolutely, and I never said I don't take care of him.
And just like that, the moment we've all been anticipating has finally arrived. He scrambles to backtrack, first insisting that he never claimed he was exempt from paying, yet every action he takes suggests otherwise. But let's set the record straight. Under the law, adopting a child comes with the exact same legal responsibilities as having a biological one. Once those papers are signed, there's no turning back. It's a lifelong commitment. The judge sees right through his excuses, and honestly, so should everyone else. Now the real question is, should he be held accountable for paying, or does he have a valid argument?
But did you say what she just said, that, or you believe what she just said, that you don't have to take care of him because he's not biologically yours?
No, I never said that.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you were going to give me that answer.
Not.
Okay.
You're
because
right.
you understand that an adopted
Like the face of somebody who would not take care of a child.
Well, I don't know, sir. I see plenty of faces that don't take care of their kids, so I can't really
it's
accurately
my
answer that question.
To take care of my child,
Okay.
even though he is adopted.
Okay. Well, even though the adoption part has nothing to do with it, and from now on, don't call him adoptive son. Okay, he's your son.
That's correct.
Legally adopted, your son.
That's correct.
Okay. Now I'll be back to you in just one moment.
Yes,
okay.
Your Honor.
So let's talk about this land and cattle and all of that. So you said his parents are deceased.
his parents died about a year ago, and he inherited a lot of land that's worth probably close to $200,000.
Okay.
And there's some cattle being run on there.
200,000. And you say he worked for the government?
He does. He works for the government, Your Honor.
So all of this money, and he hasn't given you anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay, sir. You work for the government currently, and you inherited some land, and you have cattle on that land, and you have not paid her any money for your son?
I inherited 10 acres. That's it. I've got 6 head of cattle.
It? Do you know how many acres 10 acres is? Sir, some people's houses aren't even sitting on 1 acre.
Well, it depends where it is.
Okay.
Wait a minute. This man owns $200,000 worth of land and cattle, holds a full-time government job, yet hasn't contributed a single cent to child support? That's beyond outrageous. The judge is visibly frustrated, and honestly, who wouldn't be? He's sitting on a financial empire, yet still refuses to take responsibility for his own son. It's not a matter of ability. It's a matter of choice. So what do you think? Is he being completely unreasonable, or does he actually have some sort of justification? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Well, it's
you have
not
10
in
acres.
The
How much?
city of wherever.
Is it accurate what she said that these acres are worth almost $200,000?
$160,000.
Okay, that's close to you know what?
That's $40,000 less.
It may be, but it's still worth close to $200,000, which is what she said.
The cattle are worth $40,000.
The cattle. Okay, so to combine, that's $200,000.
Well, it sounds like it.
So you have assets and worth in excess of $200,000, and you don't want to give this woman anything for your son?
I'll give her something.
Excuse me? You'll give her something?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm going to make sure that you give it to her on a consistent basis.
I'm a caseworker.
Okay.
We make very little money as a case. You do cases all the time.
Sir.
I'm a caseworker. I deal with this all the time.
Okay.
The classic, I teach him a trade excuse. Sure, passing down knowledge is valuable, but let's be real. That doesn't cover school fees, sports gear, or health care. The law doesn't say raise your kid however you want as long as you teach him how to milk a cow. Financial support isn't optional. It's a legal and moral responsibility. And this judge, they're not here for the nonsense. Honestly, neither should any responsible parent be. Providing for your child isn't a favor. It's a duty.
This isn't fair.
How much do you make as a caseworker? No, what's not fair is the fact that you have not given her any money and you have assets worth $200,000 and you work an everyday job. How much money are you making on your job every day?
40, 50,000, that's it.
40, 50,000. You know what, sir? You came
Wait.
here to waste my time.
Wait.
No, you wait,
Whoa.
because that is ridiculous. You're making a lot of money and you haven't given her anything.
I take care of the child. He comes to the farm. I teach him things about how to work the land. I mean, I spend so much time with that child.
So you're teaching him a trade,
Yes,
and that is
ma'am.
excellent. However,
Yes, ma'am.
trade has nothing to do with the financial responsibility of him, okay? So what I'm going to do, because your assets, although they're not income producing per se, I can still base your child support off of that. You have
Only when it's sold. It's only worth it when it's sold.
no. I can base your child support based on the assets that you have, even though they have not been sold and they're not income producing. So, because you have so much money, when you add together what you make yearly, along with your assets, what I can do is take a reasonable amount of that and calculate your child support, okay?
Reasonable amount.
Reasonable. I said, that's what I said.
What do you consider reasonable?
I thought I was the judge in asking the questions.
Well-
So I'm getting ready to tell you what I consider reasonable, okay? Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, our son is 16 and he is playing football in school.
At this point, his excuses have completely run dry. He's already admitted that his son is nearing graduation, and with football expenses piling up, the financial strain is real. Yet, despite all of this, he continues to turn a blind eye and refuses to step up. Imagine knowing your child genuinely needs financial help and shrugging it off like, nah, he can just learn to bale hay. That's not parenting. That's neglect. The judge isn't buying it, and honestly, neither should anyone else. Raising a child isn't just about teaching skills. It's about ensuring they have the opportunities they deserve. It's clear the time for real consequences has arrived.
And he has all these expenses, and I have asked Mr. Sanchez to please give us some money to buy the uniforms and for all these other expenses. And he's going to be coming up on graduation and
Okay.
all those expenses. And this man doesn't want to give me anything. That's the excuse I get all the time. Well, I take him to the farm. I teach him how to milk the cows, or I teach him how to bale the hay. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not paying for his football uniform.
And I agree with that. It costs money to raise a child.
This is a hearing aid. I have been dealing with this all my life with this woman. I take them out just so I don't have to listen to it.
You know what, sir? That is very uncalled for.
That's all she does, is complain.
Well, she has a legitimate complaint. Don't you think you have not been giving her anything for the support of your child?
Okay, I'll support the child. Just leave me alone.
Okay, she's getting ready to leave you alone right now because I'm getting ready to bother you with these numbers, okay? So what we're going to do is calculate your child support based on, you say you make about $50,000 as a case manager, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to add that with that $40,000 worth of cattle that you have.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so they give you a gross of $90,000.
This is a crucial wake-up call about child support law. Your financial obligations don't disappear just because your assets aren't generating cash. The law is clear. Both income and assets can be considered when determining payments. And that's exactly what this judge is doing, factoring in both salary and property to ensure fairness. You can't just hoard wealth, sit on valuable assets, and pretend to be broke. If you own land, livestock, or real estate, the court has every right to include those in the calculation. Financial responsibility isn't just about what's in your paycheck. It's about what you have. Trying to game the system, not going to work.
A yearly, of $90,000.
That's correct.
I have your gross at $7,500, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Brings your net to $5,834.63. You only have one child that's under the age of 18?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so who carries health insurance for the child?
I've been paying a private policy for him for the last 6 years since he walked out the door.
You've been paying policy.
Okay.
Where are you getting the money to pay the policy?
Excuse me, sir. You will address me just because
Yes, Your
my head
Honor.
is down. Don't cut me off either.
Yes, ma'am.
You wait until I finish.
Yes, ma'am.
Just because my head is down and I'm doing something else does not mean I'm not paying attention, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is, how much is that a month,
I pay
ma'am?
$130 a month.
$130, okay? So you're going to reimburse that to her every month. You understand that?
I guess I have no choice, do I?
No, you don't have a choice because I just told you. So, based on your child support, I have $1,166.93, plus you're going to reimburse that $130. That brings your child support obligation monthly to $1,296.93.
So, since you're good at math, what does that leave me income for a year?
Oh, let me check. Let's
Yeah, that
see.
would be good.
Yeah, you know what? What's good? That $160,000 worth of 10 acres of land, that's what you're left with. Sell it, and then maybe you'll have some money. Any other questions?
Well,
And you go to work every day. So $50,000 plus your $160,000 sounds like you're living a very good life at $210,000 a year. And if there are no further questions, you all are dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
take the other hearing aid out.
And just like that, justice has been served. This case is a powerful testament to how the legal system ensures financial responsibility, no matter how many loopholes someone tries to exploit. Some people think they can outmaneuver the law, but when it comes to child support, the system is designed to prioritize the child's well-being above all else. Let's be clear, these laws aren't about punishing parents. They exist to make sure children get the support they rightfully deserve. No amount of excuses, hidden assets, or dodging payments can erase that responsibility. If this case made you rethink the importance of accountability, make sure to hit that like button and drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more shocking courtroom battles, because your comment might just spark the next case we dive into. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.